Mexican Chemistry Tournament 2022. First problem. Copper crystal. Put an iron nail in the solution of some copper compound. And substitution reaction occurs and copper begins to precipitate on the iron surface, resulting in dendrite-like structures. One can imagine if it is possible to grow a considerable large copper single crystal or dendrite crystallite grain using this technique. How do specific copper compounds, concentration, and other factors affect the size of copper crystallites? The reaction that will take place is as soon as the iron metal is introduced into the solution of copper sulfate, we see how in a few minutes a reddish layer begins to form on the iron. This is already the reduced copper metal that is being deposited on the iron. In addition, the solution changed from the bluish color typical of copper sulfate to a green color typical of iron sulfate that is developing. If we maintain the reaction, over time the copper will continue to deposit until all the copper in the solution to consume it, which is the case will not be the case because there is more iron than copper sulfate. Second problem, mysterious containers in a shelf in the chemistry laboratory. There are 6 containers without labels with colorless and liquid substances. The laboratory manager said that the substances could be the first step in identifying the 6 mysterious substances is to determine the density of the substances with a decimeter. Subsequently, the substances with similar density, 2-pentanol, 2-pentanol-1, and 5-pentanol-1, are then sniffed, identifying the 2 ketones, and 2-pentanol is identified. On the other hand, 3-pentanol will be identified by melting point subjecting both substances to -40 centigrade, and the one that freeze will be 5-pentanol-1 identifying 2-pentanol-1. Another option is the use of gas chromatography. Third problem. Electronegative is the ability of an atom to attract electrons when it forms a bond in the periodic table. This increases from left to right due to the growing need to reach stability by gaining electrons according to the noble gas of the period in which they are found increases from bottom to top mainly by the atomic radius or size of the atoms. The 5 atoms to compare it with respect to their electronegativity are from period 3: sodium, magnesium, aluminum, silicon, and phosphorus. All seek to complete the object as the noble gas of this period, that is argon, which has 2 electrons in the first level, 8 in the second, and 8 in the third. In this way, for sodium, magnesium, and aluminum, it is easier to donate their electrons, 1, 2, and 3 respectively, while for silicon and phosphorus, the electronegativity is 5, and these are electron acceptors. Fourth problem. Water's color as the tequila industry increases its production each year, residues increases as well. In fact, 10 liters of water are generated per each liter of tequila. Therefore, it becomes imperative to establish an adequate treatment of the generated wastewater, in this case called vinasse. This is considered the main residues in tequilas industries and one of its most persistent compounds, remaining after a treatment in a wastewater treatment plant. Its color since Mexico has just released a new environmental regulation of permissible limits of pollution in water researches, such as color. Now it's important to post greater quality standards. Color is these industries goes from 2,500 to 3,000. Uh, a regulation indicate an approximate of 75 you suggest an economic, sustainable, and efficient strategy which can be applied to these industries. Strategy. First, the vinasse mixtures will be centrifugated at 5,600 revolutions per minute, separating the solids present, and later the superman will be filtered in baling here, retaining natural organic dyes. Then the fluid will be chlorinated concentration of 100 to precipitate some inorganic metals, and finally be filtered on activated carbon. The resulting liquid is leaving to be less than 75 cobalt platinum on it. On the other hand, the pH of 2 to 5. Thanks. Team students made up of Carla Yadira and Cecilia Elizabeth and Luis Angel, and teacher Enriqueta Sanchez.